So now these days, you see this COVID is coming back again, and it is like the sudden changes, and we have to adjust according to the current situations. So these are always changing. So it is a good experience for all of us to directly understand the reality of uncertainty. Uncertainty is a part of the world. World means our internal and external world. It is experiences and objects. All are always changing and not certain. You can't fix things and plan and doing things. But most of the time, if we don't have this kind of pandemic, we plan and we do things. So Lord Buddha say all the time these are impermanent, but mostly we are not aware of this impermanence or the uncertainty. So we think the short-term things we take as permanent and fixed. Even when you think you are young age, when you are conditioned to learn things and educate yourself and practice these things, then you will become happy and better. It is okay in the level of the normal existence or the way how people exist or humans exist. But when we go to the deeper realities, or deeper truths, so all these things just run according to their so-called this delusion, or the delusion-based thinking is always brings us to one to the other and then next to the other, like this. It is a normal way of happening things. When we are facing obstructions, so then we try to find out a different other methods to overcome that problem and go ahead. So, but there is no end of that kind of going. So that is the way this consciousness work. Because the consciousness work, if it accept at the beginning, whatever thing we get is, whatever thing we expect is subject to change and vanish. That means not the external part, but the internal part also. Our expectations also change. So our values also change. So if you are aware of this reality, so then from the beginning, you are not running behind things. You just accept things and let go things. You train your mind to abandon things at any age. If you get that understanding, you naturally fall into that direction. So you see all the things are uncertain, subject to change and vanish. So you no need to run behind these things. Even the people who going behind that kind of views, or the majority of people who are living in this world, all people around you go in that way. So it is easy for you to go in that way. But if you clearly understand, these people are not having the understanding or awareness of this reality, this uncertainty. That's why they run behind these uncertain things. Because it is the majority people's acceptance. So then you let go. Then you start let go things. Even this stage of your life, you can, once you get the understanding, then you can reflect wisely on these things and try to let go things and be calm, be quiet. Be kind to other people. Be kind to yourself also, because sometimes the expectations are not up. Your body and mind is not up to your expectations. Sometimes you are not skillful enough to achieve your goals. So then you suffer. Sometimes you press your children to follow. You go this way. This is the right way. We missed this one. So that kind of way of behaving sometimes we see in this world. So if you are aware of this uncertainty of things, so you are naturally ready to face whatever situation you experience at any moment. You just be calm and quiet and face it wisely, face any situation wisely. So, this knowledge and vision you get at the beginning of this path. Once you listen to Dhamma, knowledge and vision come first. So then you practice it, you use it, that knowledge and vision. Then you see there is no other way to stop suffering. Just you have to turn off your senses, not use your senses, and just let the senses turn off, and you focus to your mind. So in other words, we can say, you train your mind to turn off your five senses and go to the mind world, and you stop thinking, stop doing. Thinking is a kind of doing. So thinking leads to more verbal action, bodily action, and mental action. So all are doings. All are we say, there is no rest. You are just no relaxation. Always doing by mind, doing by verbal actions, doing by bodily actions, mental actions. These three are all doings. So these things make you suffer, make you more work, no end. So that's why the Lord Buddha say, always your practices are bent towards the viveka, viraga, nirodha. Viveka means the relaxation, letting go, free of doings. That is viveka. Viraga is just things fade away and disappear. And nirodha is non-arising, the thoughts or mental states. Just let everything to cease and disappear. So this is when you aware of this, the reality of uncertainty and non-self nature. So your mind naturally bend to this direction. Just let go things and free your mind from all these actions. Doings always based on delusion, because you do things to make things better or get more whatever thing you want. So all wantings always based on delusion. So all these doings leads to more suffering. So that is the core Buddhism. That is what Lord Buddha want to taught to people. So so when we are practicing the path, we are not stopped by understanding this reality. Then your mind naturally inclined to achieve the total extinguishment. That is viveka, viraga, nirodha. This non-doing states, and let the things fade away and disappear, and non-arising state. That means it's total cessation. Your mind bent to achieve those stages. So you just let go and be kind, soft, and gentle. You are skillful to deal with your internal world and external world, because you know the nature of this internal world and external world. Because consciousness always here. That's why you suffer. So it didn't arise without a reason. There's a causes and conditions behind these things. So each and every moment, this consciousness arises based on causes and conditions. So that is the most important thing always you have to keep in mind. You see something nice, beautiful, because you are conditioned to see it nice and beautiful. So sometimes if you carefully scrutinize, examine these things, you see how it works. So if you're born in Sri Lanka, according to me, so we see the rice and curry is nice and good. But if you're born in a Western country, so you see something different. If you're born in China or the Chinese communities, they see something good, something different is good. Not this Sri Lankan food is not good. These are really smelly and not really good for health. So that depends on your conditioning. What you see as good is totally based on where you were born and lived, how you were conditioned, how your faculties were conditioned. So that is the important thing to understand. These are always changing when the causes and conditions are changed. So this reality, that's why Lord Buddha say you can't claim these things as I, me, myself. This I, tongue, body and mind is not yours. It is a part of the nature. So when you have this understanding, you have to use it and let go things. Be kind, soft and gentle to the world. And internal and external world. Internal world also, your body and mind is already conditioned. So it is always, all the time, your experiences are conditioned your mind. That means the experience create intentions. And you want to do this thing, you want to eliminate this thing, you want to achieve this thing. All these intentions it is the part of the mental process. So it creates more suffering. That's why Lord Buddha showed us to let go things and free your mind from all these actions. So all these mental actions, bodily actions, verbal action based on delusion. So that's why just let go things. When you are using non-delusion, your mind naturally inclined to let go things and stop things and free your mind. So these things always we have to keep in mind, and then we have to practice as much as we can when we have time. Because when you are living in this world, you have to engage in your day-to-day work. So then you have to do those work, but you can minimize and you can reserve your time to practice and enjoy the stillness of the mind, the dispassion or the fade away things, and the total extinguishment. You can enjoy time to time when you practice gradually. So if you have any questions, you can ask at any time. So I will read a small part of sutta. Actually, this is a long sutta, this Saropama Sutta. I will read the short part, so you can ask questions. Huh? So I thought to read this sutta because sometimes people struggle for practicing the samadhi and just come to samadhi and jhana. So it is good, it is okay, but if you don't have the proper understanding about how your eye, nose, tongue, body and mind works, sometimes your intentions based on wrong view, it creates more suffering. So if you know the reality and if you examine this reality within yourself with normal mindfulness, you can understand most of these things. So then you can easily go to the deeper stages of meditation. So then practice. You enjoy the practice. You enjoy the stillness. Otherwise, you keep the stillness with struggling hard. So because your mind is valuing the thinking and doing and planning and all other five sense world stuff. Because the attachment to five sense world, or the let the mind to indulge in five sense world, is the biggest obstruction to the meditation. Kamachanda. So Kamachanda come from delusion. This Kamachanda is the attachment or the indulgence of five sense world. It come from delusion. So that's why Lord Buddha say, once you have the right view, so the Nekkamma Sankappa, the turn away mind from the Kama world, the five sense world, is naturally start happening. So that leads to the remove the Kama Chanda from your way of thinking. So it is important to have the right view. Then you can easily remove the Kama Chanda. This indulgence in five sense objects. So I will read. This is a small part of this Saropama Sutta. This is a really good sutta to read. So then you see how things happen in this world. So most of the time people, when they come to this practice, once you get the virtue or achieve, when you start behaving nicely, so you praise yourself and the blame other people, or the let down other people, and you praise yourself. Oh, I have good sila, this guy don't have good sila. They are not practicing well, I am practicing well. This is very common in this world, but Lord Buddha say that is not the right thing to do. So because that is also part of delusion, because you see as personalities, you don't see as the natural, the way of happening things. So once you understand that this is the natural, the causes and conditions run all these actions and reactions, so then you are kind to yourself and you are kind to all other living beings also. So this sutta actually based on that kind of teaching. So I will read this one. This is Majjhima Nikaya 30, or the middle length discourses, number 30. I read a small part of this sutta. This is a Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation. So this is the 11th chapter of this sutta. Here, Brahmin, some clansman goes forth out of faith from the home life into homelessness. Considering I am a victim of birth, aging, and death, of sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. I am a victim of suffering, a prey to suffering. Surely an ending of this whole mass of suffering can be known. When he has gone forth thus, he acquires gain, honor, and renown. This is what people first acquire. When you ordain and when you are practicing, then you automatically get these things, very quickly get the honor, gain, honor, and renown. And his intention is not fulfilled. He does not on account of it. But some people have account of it. That's in this early part of this sutta, Lord Buddha clearly say these things. When people account on these things, they automatically they glorify themselves and put down others. So it is a part of the world. So you should not follow that. So this chapter actually gives the more developed people, the person who developed to this knowing and seeing. So even that is not the right stage. You have to go up to the total extinguishment. That's what this sutta says. So anyway, I will read the next part. So when he has gone forth, thus he acquires gain, honor, and renown. He is not pleased with that gain, honor, and renown, and his intention is not fulfilled. He does not, on an account of it, laud himself and disparage others. He arouses desire to act, and he makes an effort for the realization of those, their states that are higher and more sublime than gain, honor, and renown. He does not hang back and slacken. He achieves the attainment of virtue. He pleased with that attainment of virtue, but his intention is not fulfilled. This is another stage of attainment. So once you attain the virtue, so then again you account on it and disparage others, and you honor you, and that means you laud himself and disparage others. So this is another point. Once you gain the virtue, so you practice, you behave well, you live nicely, all praise you. So then you start falling into disparage others and they laud yourself. Or in other words, you glorify yourself and the others put down others. That is what happens in this world, you can see most of the time. So when they get virtue, when they get when they become well-known and well-respected person, because once they get ordination, we get these things. So then he achieves the attainment, and then But Lord Buddha says the wise people go beyond these levels. Then he achieves the attainment of virtue. He pleased with the attainment of virtue, but his intention is not fulfilled. He does not account on it. That is the important part. Loved himself and disparaged others. He achieves the attainment of concentration. He is pleased with that attainment of concentration, but his intention is not fulfilled. He does not, on account of it, loved himself and disparaged others. He arouses a desire to act, and he makes an effort for the realization of those other states that are higher and more sublime than the attainment of concentration. He does not hang back and slacken. He achieved the knowledge and vision. So once you get the samadhi, then you achieve the knowledge and vision. So sometimes some people, the point, once people get knowledge and vision, they account on it, and then they start blaming others, or disparage others, or glorify themselves and put down others. So this is also another point when they got. He pleased with that knowledge and vision, and his intention is fulfilled. On account of it, he loves himself and disparages others. I live knowing and seeing, but these other bhikkhus live unknowing. He pleased with the knowledge and vision, and his intention fulfilled. On that account of it, he loves himself and disparages others. I live knowing and seeing, but these other bhikkhus live unknowing and unseeing. So he arouses no desire to act. He makes no effort for the realization of those other states that are higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision. He hangs back and slackens. I say that this person is like the man needing heartwood, who passing over the heartwood cut off its sapwood and took it away, thinking it was heartwood. And so, whatever it was he had to make with heartwood, his purpose will not have been served. So even the person who get the knowledge and vision, they should not stop at that level. They should go up to the, that is the Lord Buddha's instruction. Here, Brahmin, some clansman goes forth out of faith from the home life into homelessness, considering I am a victim of birth, aging, and death, of sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. I am a victim of suffering, a prey to suffering. Surely an ending of this whole mass of suffering can be known. When he has gone forth thus, he acquires gain, honor, and renown. He is not pleased with that gain, honor, and renown, and his intention is not fulfilled. He achieves the attainment of virtue. He is pleased with that attainment of virtue, but his intention is not fulfilled. He achieved the attainment of concentration. He pleased with that attainment of concentration, but his intention is not fulfilled. He achieves knowledge and vision. He pleased with that knowledge and vision, but his intention is not fulfilled. He does not, on account of it, loved himself and disparaged others. He arouses a desire to act, and he makes an effort for the realization of those other states that are higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision. He does not hang back and slacken. But what Brahmin are the states that are higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision? Here Brahmin, quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, a bhikkhu enters upon and abides in the first jhana, which is accompanied by applied and sustained thought, with rapture and pleasure born of seclusion. This is a state higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision. Again, with the stilling of applied and sustained thought, a bhikkhu enters upon and abides in second jhana. Again, with the fading away as well as the rapture, bhikkhu abides equanimity. So in this way, Lord Buddha brings to the deeper levels of jhanas, so say more and more sublime states of the experience. It is much more better than the knowledge and vision. So the higher states to the knowledge and vision. So Lord Buddha brings up to the total extinction. Again, by completely surmounting the base of neither perception nor no perception, bhikkhu enters upon and abides in the cessation of perception and feeling, and his taints are destroyed by seeing with wisdom. This too is a state higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision. These are the states that are higher and more sublime than knowledge and vision. I say that this person, the Brahmin, is like a man needing heartwood, seeking heartwood, wandering in search of heartwood, who come to a great tree standing possessed of heartwood, and cutting off its heartwood, took it away, knowing it was heartwood. And so, whatever it was he had to make with the heartwood, his purpose will have been served. So this holy life, Brahmin, does not have gain, honor, and renown for its benefit, or the attainment of virtue for its benefit, or the attainment of concentration for its benefit, or the knowledge and vision for its benefit. But it is this unshakable deliverance of mind that is the goal of this holy life. It is heartwood, and it is the end. So, these things we have to, because most of the Buddhists are just follow the virtue. They don't see, this is not, each and every religion have virtue. So that is not the real Buddhism. The Buddhism is actually, they go up to the total extinguishment of suffering. So different virtues give different results, different happinesses. That is not the thing we actually Lord Buddha taught us. So that's what I want to teach today. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can ask. Something that is much more relevant to your day-to-day life. So I think it is.
Bhante, this.
Yeah, okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, there's no online questions at the moment, Bhante.
Okay, good.
If anyone from the floor would like to come up.
Yeah. So, if you have any questions, you can ask.
You're quite right. I mean, virtue is only the beginning. It's like a
it is,
right? But you start with virtue.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people, in their virtue, they have achieved everything. But virtue is important.
Yeah, virtue is important.
Sila, Samadhi, Prajna, isn't it? We have to progress from that towards. Yeah, I know some people who even practiced the jhanic states
Yeah.
and enjoyed the sublime state of jhana. And when it comes out of the jhanic state, they are very irritable. They get very irritable
Yeah.
of others. You see how restless the others are. They are eating, drinking, running fast, and not obeying orders. So even they are worse than what it has been. So those people then started practicing other type of meditation to improve the wisdom. See, I mean I know some examples of that.
Yeah.
So practicing the correct way towards Nibbana is the correct way.
Yeah.
Jhana gives sort of a sublime state.
Yeah.
If you are wise enough to get the wisdom, you can come back to jhana to get the sublime state.
Yeah.
That is the sort of joy of, it's like a retreat, isn't it? Going to jhanic state.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because people attain jhana state based on different views. So they just enjoy these states, mental states. So they enjoy the freedom of doing or doing nothing. And that is kind of a liberation. But if they don't have the right understanding about what we are experiencing, how these things arise and pass away, what are the causes and conditions, and the nature of our body and mind, if you don't understand, you just fall into no big value of that kind of achievements. Because they don't see the value of it. They don't distinguish. They think, I know this one, but I doesn't exist. It is the process of happening things. Causes and conditions create that kind of mental states. So they should have the analytical knowledge. That means the right basis, right direction. They have to analyze this. If they don't see the uncertainty of all these experiences and there's non-self nature, how these things arise, what are the causes and conditions behind these intentions which give rise these mental states. Because the intentions are the primary things which move the mind to those states. So those states, actually, the deeper states don't have intentions. But it starts from the lower level, the intentions. That's why the Vayama, when you talk about the Bojjhanga, so you can see Sati Sambodhange, Dhammavicaya, Virya. After Virya, this Sati Sambodhange, Samadhi Sambodhange, Upekka Sambodhange come behind that one. So there's intentions should come first to drive this mind to the right direction. But those intentions are based on right view. So that is called the Samma Sankappa. That is come under Samma Sankappa, right intentions. So you just let go. You free your mind from intentions by those intentions. So you just turn away mind from the five sense world. So these things people practice based on different views, but until you are having the wrong view, that means you think you are experiencing this world. I, me, myself notion. This create greed, hatred. So that's why people suffer when they emerge from the jhana and come to the five sense world. They again start suffering because they experience the experiences they don't wish, they don't want. So then they suffer. Appihi sampayogo dukkho, pihi vippayogo dukkho, all these things they experience. They depart from the people they want, or whatever thing they want to experience. They depart from those experiences and they experience whatever thing they don't want. So that kind of things create problems. So that means he's suffering. But if a person has the overall understanding, this experience is a part of the consciousness. It is always create suffering. Then they can let go things and free their minds. If the people don't have understanding about the reality, they suffer. So that's why Lord Buddha say, you have to have the right view first. then you can let go. That's why Lord Buddha say, when you are practicing the path, from the beginning, your mind is getting released from suffering. It develops to a deeper levels. And it leads to the total cessation of suffering and the going on samsara. That leads to the ending of samsara. Is there any questions? No.
Bhante, there's no other questions, but I do have,
Huh?
I do have a point, or I just wanted to raise. Firstly, apologize to everyone for the slides. I got distracted, and then I actually got very, just along the same topic. I got, I noticed when I got distracted, and then trying to come back to those slides, I got very disorientated.
Yeah.
So as I kind of got disorientated, and it's like I didn't know where I was because it was in Pali, and I just couldn't find my way through there. I then just went back, like I noticed the stress arising, and then I decided to just sort of stay, just come back to myself.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we do that in life, and I found also I found that that's very uncharacteristic of me, because I would always be trying to fix it.
Yeah.
But when we do these sort of things in life, where we just come back to ourselves, it sometimes has an impact outside, because, for instance, the people who were looking at the slides, there may have been some stress for them. This is a pretty minor incident. But I'm just saying that sometimes when we come back to ourselves and we come back to peace and get rid of the stress within ourselves, it may cause stress outside. So how do we deal with those sort of things?
Yeah, it is important, because when you are living in just as we say, in your home, so you should know the others' choices and what they think and what they like and what they don't like. If you don't know that, sometimes your behaviors create problems to others. They become unhappy. So it is the nature. That's why the people ultimately come to the monasteries, to practice the same thing. So then all have the same view, same kind of practice. So that's why sometimes when you are living with other people, you should have that understanding about the others, the choices. So it is a part of the nature, but sometimes you can't fulfill all others' the ambitions. So they may not like you are behaving in this way or other way. They get upset, but you have to be kind to them also. You have to be kind to yourself until you are living with them. So you have to keep the balance. You have to be kind. That's why Lord Buddha say, when you are living in your home, sometimes you may not be able to practice the deeper stages of this meditation. Maybe you have a lot of obstructions. Some of the people totally go against you and try to make more troubles to you. These things happen in our lives. Many people experience when they are practicing meditation in home. Sometimes when husband is practicing meditation, wife is obstructing. When wife is practicing meditation, husband is unhappy. These things are common in this world. So it is good to keep this understanding. Things, even within yourself, sometimes you become very unstable when you experience some meditation experiences. So then you have a strong thing, wanting to do this thing, other thing. So you want to eliminate all the obstructions to your practice of meditation. Then you make rules and so many things and create a lot of troubles. Even in monasteries, I have seen many times some monks try to make rules and then create more problems. So this is, if you understand, if you have understand the big picture, that means how these minds and bodies works, then you kind and soft and gentle, then you can kind to yourself and kind to other people, and you know how to deal with these things. You can educate the other person. So this is how things are going on. So this is the way I am going. So then they come to, they develop their knowledge, or they know what is going on and what is happening. whether it is good for them or bad to them. So then you can get their support to you if you are skillful. So the other people's support you can get by telling them, educating them, try to help them to change their perception regarding what you are doing. So these kind of things. Actually, these are the common the problems when you are practicing. If you practice in a secluded place like the forest monastery, in the secluded kuti, then you have no much problems. But when you are living in this world, we have to deal with other people, but skillfully. Because we know all bodies and minds have their own set of conditions, their own set of karma flow, so that how they experience past, how they react to those experiences. This karma is always with our consciousness. It is a part of the system. So therefore, we have to kind to ourselves and we have to kind to other people. Because that is how it happens. If we take these things as personal, that is her way, that is his way, these are... then you create more problem to you and the other people. Because anger comes from the delusion. If you know, this is then you start seeing the causes and conditions. Why this person is reacting this way? Then you can treat to the cause. You can talk about because sometimes some people have the bad experiences. If I tell a small example, so sometimes some family people, their husbands go and meditate. The wives work, but then they lose the homework, what husbands are doing. So sometimes a few come together and discuss and say, this is a problem. Oh no, now he's not doing this thing, that. So then they create intentions, and so then they try to tell, not only one, the 2, 3 come together and discuss and take decisions, and then intentions, then they start acting. So this is then the others, the person who go to meditation can tell what are the benefits, what they get, and they can change the other person's mind by educating, telling good things, and because when we treat to the causes and conditions, it is much more not personal. If you straightforward go against the person, then it creates a problem. No persons are there. Causes and conditions drive our bodies and minds. So that is the way how you have to deal with these things. Wisely. Kind, soft and gentleness is the only way. So, is there any other questions?
Probably, Bhante, you can turn this into something related to your talk. I was wanting to say something more about Prem, because as we all know, Prem used to sit where Rowan is now. See? Rowan's there. That's where Prem used to sit every Sunday. And during the AGMs, he used to sit there. And somebody commented when Prem didn't turn up to the AGM, we knew it was serious. In other words, that he was ill. But one thing I wanted just to tell people, I kept in touch with Prem via the phone and with the intention of going to see him. And one of the reasons he wanted, it was Padmini and me, to go and see him, is he wanted to show us his plans for the BSV. Now, this was an imagined future BSV with a new house over there. I haven't seen these plans yet, and some connecting passageway between a new house with an underground car park, I think, and the hall. And the reason I wanted to tell the story is he wanted us to go in. Now, this is when he was in palliative care, within a week of when he passed away. And we couldn't make it because he actually passed away 20 minutes before we got there. But the point I'm wanting to make is that he had two things about his death. He always talked about how he'd had such a good life and that he didn't want to have chemotherapy because, as so many of us know, chemotherapy can really cause huge health problems. And he was very equanimous in that regard. And the other thing I wanted to tell everybody is right up to his time when he became very, very ill, the last day or two of his life, he was working away on this design for the BSV. So I guess what I'm trying to say, he had this most amazing commitment to the welfare and ongoing of us all. So that really is all I wanted to say. I wanted to share that because otherwise people might not know the level. And his son said to me, he didn't want to watch television, he couldn't hear it properly. Probably he wasn't well enough to read. So what did he do? Possibly some meditation, I don't have the answer to that. But certainly he planned the future of the BSV here. So that's all, thank you.
Yeah, when you are living in this world, whatever thing you associate with, so you have that good intention. But anyway, the Prem, I think, they practice the Buddhism in a certain level. So that's why his mind is always revolved with this Buddhist society work. That is a great thing because it is some kind of a serving to the sasana or serving to the Buddhism and the Buddhist communities. It is a great thing because it leads to he may become a Buddhist in his future lives also because he enjoyed that kind of living and he valued it. So it's a great thing. But the wishes sometimes not come to fulfill. So it is also we wish things, but sometimes not come to the reality. So that is a part of the world, yes. But we enjoy that kind of the wholesome, that means doing something to the world, good things. I think his funeral time, his son also told he enjoyed that his work he has done to the community here in this country, though he worked as an engineer. But people enjoy their work to the humanity a lot. Yeah, that's a great thing. So people get happy, and these are not the unskillful things, these are skillful things. But even though these skillful things leads to samsara, this make them happy. It is good. That's why Lord Buddha say, Lord Buddha never say the skillful things are bad. These skillful things are good, actually. These are create more happiness to people. But it never stops suffering to anyone. So these things you can't maintain. So these things change and vanish. All uncertain things.
Bhante, there is a question online here.
Yeah.
It says, my friend works all the time. He says if he's not working, he's wasting time.
Yeah.
He says working is virtue and doing nothing is laziness. Is this right view?
Yeah. This one you have to understand what is doing and what will get from the doing, because that depends on the person's view. People can say this is the causes and conditions create that kind of view, because they don't see whatever thing you are doing sometimes change. When that kind of a person see some in some situations I have seen people work hard and do something. After some time, another person come and totally destroy that one and do something else. They say, oh, what a foolish guy did this thing. So then he gets stunned. Oh, why he's still foolish? Because the other person see totally different thing there. Then people get upset. So then what I did? How many years I spent time for doing this thing? Now this guy come and destroy and do something else. This kind of things you can see. So these things are, the impermanence is a part of the nature, this the uncertainty. So people come and do. Some people, now you can see this world. So people value the democracy, and from the Second World War, they develop. Now it is going to the other side because people now see the bad things of the democracy. This is how the people's minds work in this world. It is a nature. You can't keep it there all the time. The causes and conditions change. People think, oh, the democracy is not too soft, to be hard and tough and change things, just wasting time using that kind of people. Now people want tough and hard work. So then only the dictators can do that kind of work. So that's why these things are changed. People's attitudes, minds change. You have to accept that reality. You can't keep everything, all the things according to your wish. Sometimes your wishes are changed when you are experiencing different situations. I have seen in Sri Lanka, because when this Tamil Tiger problem comes, the early part, the presidents and the prime ministers are not powerful enough, or they didn't fight against these guys and destroy it. So that's how people think. So then they want a king to destroy all this. Oh, if we had a king, they could solve this one very quickly. These guys are always talking, and listening to other people, just don't do the necessary thing. This is the thinking, the foolishness of thinking. You don't think wisely. It is not. People want to avoid things, stop things. Stop doing is not. They don't understand. They want to do things. Do things, create. Yeah, you can see there's a solution come, but all these solutions are temporary, subject to change and vanish. If you read the history, you can see the same thing repeating again and again. It is the nature. So that's why Lord Buddha say, you can't stop suffering by doing. You just let go this consciousness. Otherwise, there is no end. So that the question is actually based on not understanding the right view. That's all.
Thank you, Bhante. There is another one here. Bhante, how can you, the monks, how can you, the monks, can live isolated in the wilderness when there are lots of frightening animals? How do you overcome the fear of those animals that are so scary?
Yeah. Yeah, it is also a good question, actually. This scariness is based on your way of relating to the world. So that depends on how you develop your mind, how your attitudes. It is not spontaneous, but when you live in monk's life, when you develop the right attitude, the right view, and right intentions, your mind becomes calm, soft, and gentle. Then you can quickly relate to the external world in a different way. So even the animals, you know how to deal with them. The monks who are living in forests, even the very dangerous animals, they live without any trouble. They know how to avoid them, or they know how to face them. No problem. Without make them fear, you can deal with them. They are not jumping on you at once. You can see the nice story in this Nalagiri came to the Buddha. So when Buddha was walking on the road, the elephant, the drunken elephant came front to him. So he knew how to deal with him. So in that way, so that depends on the development of mind. So it is not equal to each and every person. That depends on the person. So that's why Lord Buddha say, if you can't bear, you just avoid it. So if there is wild animals. So that's why Lord Buddha say, to go to the forest for practicing meditation, you should practice in monasteries with other people and develop your mind to a certain level. to go to the forest and live alone. So then you can live alone. Otherwise, not these animals. Even if when the wind is blowing, the tree trunks are, how do you say, they're touching each other, rubbing each other, and give so many strange sounds. People get afraid. Some, these ghosts give sounds. And they leave the forest and go back to the monasteries. Yeah, we have seen these things. This was happening even in Buddha's time. Yeah. That was the Metta Sutta was given, yes. Yeah. That's why the right view give the right intentions. The non-harming thought, non-ill-will thoughts, and non-sensual thoughts. These things give rise, practicing these right thoughts, develop the loving kindness towards the whole world. So that kind of person can go. They don't worry about their lives or the others. They're kind to all living beings. So they have the protection.
There are a few more online questions. Is there anyone from the floor that wants to ask a question?
Yeah. Okay, you can ask.
How long have we got for a few more questions?
Yeah, you can ask.
Okay, let me choose one here. Okay, so how does one achieve the middle way in the practice of kindness to others, considering the amount of injustice and inequity in the world?
Yeah, actually, it is a part of the world. The injustice is a part of the world. Even the Buddha's time, when Buddha was alive, so King Vidudaba tried to destroy the Sakyan clan, most of the Sakyan kings, the Lord Buddha's relatives. Once he stopped, second time he stopped, third time he just let it happen. So they went and killed the Sakyan kings. Lord Buddha didn't. This is the world, because the causes and conditions create intentions and these kind of doings. So it is a part of the world. It is how it works. So you can't stop all these things. You should understand this is the world. That's why Lord Buddha say total extinguishment is the only way of the extinguishing suffering. So if your consciousness is working, you have to face to the undesirable contacts. It is the part of the world. Because the desire is always based on your valuing, what you value. Now, you say this is injustice, but some people say it is justice. It is the right thing. It should happen in that way. So, this is how this world works. You see, this consciousness is just a mirage. Just let go. You have to train it. Because your views and your values based on what you learn, maybe it is correct, right? Because some people have the evil thoughts and intentions. They do not for the well-being of the community or the society or the world. They do for their self benefits, their personal benefits. People act in this world and do a lot of bad things, injustice. So it is a part of the world. That is how they think, that is the way they should behave when they get a chance. So who can stop? So sometimes you can struggle and stop, but then you can establish a nice the control power, but after some time it fall and another crook comes to the place. Yeah, that is how the world works. Greed, hatred, and delusion is a part of the world, part of the consciousness. If there's conscious, your greed, hatred, and delusion is a part of that. Because the delusion is the root cause of driving the consciousness. If there's no delusion, you just let go and free your mind. Yeah. Yeah, ultimate sense it is getting out. But if you have the opportunity to treat the causes and conditions, that means if a person have a wrong view or the wrong intentions, you can support them to cultivate the right intentions if you have an opportunity. Sometimes, most of the cases, you don't have an opportunity to approach them and tell them what is right and what is wrong. So that's why, which is beneficial and which is non-beneficial. Which one leads to the more suffering? All these things you can teach if you have that ability to approach that person or that treat to the causes. So otherwise you don't get anything. So that's why it is good to let go things and be kind to the world. Or if you have a chance, you just act. That is the difference of metta and karuna. So if you have compassion, then you can act, you can find out ways to do it. Yeah, metta is just giving loving kindness to everyone and let the things be. If you have karuna, that means you have compassion, then you find out ways to solve the problem, not to go to the bad states. Yeah, it is.
And in fact, compassion involves action, if possible, doesn't it? If you have compassion,
Yeah.
it would mean you act, or you assist, you help, you can understand and you can do.
Yeah. But the Lord Buddha had a lot of compassion to the Sakyan clan and the Sakyan leaders, but he couldn't do anything. Even Buddha just let it happen. So what we can do? So we have to understand this is the reality. Some cases we can do something, but not all. Yeah. That's it. Sometimes our understanding may not correct, but the non-ill will thoughts, non-sensual thoughts, these things actually leads to some the good understanding about the world and deal with in a proper way. The abandoning greed, hatred, and so abandoning greed, hatred is a good thing. So then you can stop a lot of harm to the world. Because sometimes some actions totally based on the hatred and greed, these things create more suffering to themselves and other people also. So Lord Buddha talk about these things in many suttas nicely. Okay, good. Is there any other question? There is, but I think yeah, we have to stop. Okay. Then we are going to stop. Paying respect to Buddha's Dhamma and Sangha. Vandana. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang namassa Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho